From Joker War to Fear State, now coming in March, Shadow War. What's up, YouTubers of the world? MegaGeekMixer here to give you guys a breakdown to the upcoming crossover event for the Batman, Robin, and Deathstroke Inc. comics known as Shadow War. And it'll be done by the writer himself, Joshua Williamson, the guy who worked on The Flash for so long, back starting in 2016, all the way over to, I believe, what was it, 2020? And then left, and now it's on the books of Robin, Deathstroke, and Batman. Man, I can't wait to see what this guy's got, because I loved his run on The Flash. He was a great writer, bringing so many awesome drama, and other things to the show, the Steel Force, and all this other stuff. I could go on, but this is all about the upcoming Shadow War saga that is coming in 2022, late spring. So first off, yes, it comes at the end of March 2022, and it's gonna be going on for 3 months, from March to May. In March, we're gonna have two prelude stories, Robin issue 12 and Deathstroke issue 7, and then it is Deathstroke issue 7 that'll lead into the story that kicks off Shadow War, with the next issue that comes after it, Shadow War Alpha issue 1. And man, guys, I cannot wait for this, because so far we've already had like 2 or 3 books that are leading into this. First, you had Batman Urban Legend issue 6, that if you go through it all, there are a couple of extra stories in there. One of them is with Black Canary and her being an undercover operative for Barbara to get into trust, because they don't trust what's going on with them. They find something mysterious, and yes, after saving one of their lives, she gets accepted in, and that's how her and Deathstroke came to be working together to find out what Trust is up to. And bear in mind, they both have their own agendas and stuff. And then you also had what was that? Can't remember exactly. I can't remember. Oh yes, now I remember. Gotham Bill and Year Villains, or something like that. That's where we were introduced to Talia and learned a little of her past, with how she wanted to know about her mother, but Ra's al Ghul was able to convince her not to. Until now, it has come to that. And then finally, and Robin Annual 2021, at the end of that page, you had her meeting up with her father to talk with him. And each of those 3 titles, well, not Deathstroke Inc., or actually, yes, Deathstroke Inc., or no, Batman Urban Legend led into Deathstroke Inc. I just kind of look at it as that one being a little teaser to tell us that something bigger was coming when they showed us Talia at the end, which is true. So I guess you can call it as a prelude to a little teaser going into that the Shadow Wars were coming. And that's exactly what happened when it comes to those other books that came out afterwards. The Gotham Year Villains and then Robin Annual. It just had me so excited. I was like wondering, man, what is this Shadow War going to be about? All I just knew is that it had something to do with Talia al Ghul and the League of Shadows, Assassins and Lazarus or whatever. And that it was going to lead into some very interesting stuff, because I'm always been a fan of the League of Shadows, Assassins or whatever. They always have great stories to tell. But now, having said that, though, let me go back into my guide of this book, of the way this is going to be structured out. As I said, Robin issue 12 and Deathstroke Inc. issue 7 are the prelude stories, and the kickoff spot will be Shadow Wars Alpha 1. And then come in April, Batman issue 122 will be out, and that one will lead into Batman having his part to play in this. Then we go into Robin issue 13, Deathstroke Inc. issue 8, and then finally in May we get to the conclusion parts with Batman issue 23, Robin issue 14, Deathstroke issue 9, and then the comic that will conclude the Shadow War arc, and that is The Shadow Zone, a one-shot book that concludes it all. And I gotta tell you guys, I already have those set for my pull list, and I am excited to see where it goes. As a matter of fact, just this morning, Joshua Williamson went on to break down a little more of it with the website called comicspeak.com, and I have a little of it right here. And it's basically him teasing some more things to come. That Shadow War is going to have a big impact, but it's going to lead into connecting dots with other stuff, such as Infinity Frontier. In other words, this story, this war is going to have some connections going forward into Infinity Frontier. I really don't know what more to say. What is it that's going to happen in this war that's going to affect the era of this Infinity Frontier? I don't know what it is, but I am very interested to hear about it. He has also teased in the fact that, like, Deathstroke in Shadow Wars, he's going to be haunted by the Al Ghul family for something he did, and it's up to Robin and Batman to save him. As a matter of fact, I got the quote of what he said on that one right here. Let me go over to it. All right, here it says, Slade Williamson commits an unthinkable act. Talia al Ghul, the daughter of the demon, is out for blood. The League of Shadows is out to murder Deathstroke and destroy Deathstroke Inc. And it's up to Batman and Robin to track him down and bring him to justice. But do they? So that's pretty much like them saying, Joshua Williamson saying that they are going to try to, but in the end, will they, or will they just turn against him? That's the teaser right there. We don't know if they'll do it in the end, or if they'll be on the side of the Al Ghuls and make him pay for what he did. The question though is, what is it does Slade Wilson do? Well, that's where I believe it comes into the story of Deathstroke issue 7, which is a prelude to this, and that prelude is going to deal with Ravager and Respawn confronting Deathstroke, who is calling himself king of the supervillains. And it says that in this issue, past secrets are exposed, resulting in a cliffhanger that leads directly into Shadow War. And okay, so we know he's going to call himself king of the supervillains. Could that be why they're gonna try to eliminate Deathstroke? Is that why Talia and Raish will try to do it? Because that does seem kind of not really their thing. I mean, they're all about titles. Don't get me wrong there, guys. Raish al Ghul and Talia al Ghul are all about titles, and they don't want someone to take a title away from them. But so maybe this king of the supervillains is what's got them all worked up, but I don't think so. They may have big egos and stuff, but not that big that they'll want to kill someone like that for that. It has to be more to it than that, because let's face it, something like that, it just doesn't fit right with the Al Ghuls and what they do. However, though, with all that said, I still gotta wonder, though, what about this other stuff? Because Williamson did mention how this stuff will tie in with the bigger picture of DC Universe's Infinity War going forward. He actually has a quote about it right here. Here it says, when Deathstroke issue 1 comes out, you'll see that it's all starting to connect, because Deathstroke connects to Robin. They're parallels to each other. That's why in Batman Urban Legends story, which starred Black Canary, Talia was in it. And yeah, that was at the end. That was what I was mentioning earlier. But it says after that, it'll be interesting. There's so many clues in there. The thing that Deathstroke, Black Canary are dealing with is a super connected to the Infinity Frontier. There's a clue in the Urban Legend story. So the stuff that happens in Robin is connected with the stuff that happens in Deathstroke. And then those will connect with what happens in Batman, and then eventually it all connects to Infinity Frontier and the big story. Yeah, it's a lot, but it's all connected. And that just got me wondering, what is it that Josh Williamson is doing? I mean, if you guys think back to his run with the Flash, he had so many things connected from the very beginning. He started Flash with the whole Flash with the whole Speed Force storm, and then the black hole, all to find out it was Grodd all along who was behind all this, and you probably didn't know. I mean, there were probably some breadcrumbs, clues to leading you that there were things connected to it that was leading to it, but did some of us know it was Grodd from the beginning, or did we know from midway, or did you guys just know as soon as he shows up? For me, I only knew as soon as he showed up, because while I knew some things were connected here, who was the big brains behind it? I didn't know. It could have been anyone, but if I really thought about it, maybe I would have came up with it being Gorilla Grodd, because during Flash's journey through all this, he had faced his arch nemesis, Reverse Flash. He had faced the Rogues, and I think he took on other people, but I never thought of Gorilla Grodd. I don't know why, but I don't know. Maybe it's because when it comes to Gorilla Grodd, while I know he's a major villain and stuff, he's just not the first one that comes to my mind. And then, of course, you had the Flash Wars and all that stuff. And then his journey to learn all about these other forces that happened right after the Flash War. You see, if you think about all that Josh Williamson has done and just in that book alone, just imagine all the things he's already trying to connect with Deathstroke, Robin, and Batman going into the Shadow War. So there's a lot to unpack there. But you want to know what's even more better about this is that this gives us a chance. Finally, Batman and Robin, father and son, reunite. And will this maybe hopefully, I guess I could say, hopefully partially help those two reconcile a bit, that they're on speaking terms again, or Robin's on the point where he's like, I'll come back home and help out occasionally, but I'm still my own hero. I'm still gonna follow my own path. If you want to call it hero, I rather call it vigilante or anti-hero, whichever one. It's fun because Damian always falls in more of those categories. That's just my opinion, though. But even still, if he looked at as a hero, as long as he keeps his jerkish attitude, that's what counts. Because let's face it, if Damian doesn't have that jerkish attitude, then he's not Damian at all. Because that's his core part of his character. Just like Batman has core parts of his character of being jaded, closed off, but a good man with a great heart. See, he's a mixed bag of things, and you gotta say that's gonna have to be the same way with Damian. That's his son, after all. The apple don't fall far from the tree. I mean, it can, but with Damian's case, it shouldn't. But with all that said, though, there is one person I wish that would be in this event coming forward, and that is Nightwing. Why do I say that? Mostly out of the fondness I've had. I am a big fan of Grayson and Damian's friendship or brotherhood, or whichever way you want to look at it. All I know is they are one of the best dynamic duos around, and I'm talking back in Grant Morris's run with Batman and Robin. Dick Grayson as Batman, Damian Wayne as Robin. They just fit, they mix so well together. And it's been shown throughout all the comic histories ever since they became that, from the New 52 to DC Rebirth to Infinite Frontier, that their bond is unbreakable. It's always Grayson, one of the few people who is able to get in there with Damian to show his emotion and show his real character. The other one to do that is John Kent, which, by the way, glad we're getting the Super Sons again. I can't wait to see what those guys have coming for them. But in the end, this is mostly just out of a fan side of me wanting this, and also in the fact of their relationship. It just seems right that he should be a part of this, help Damian through all this. But they've already had their talk, and he's agreed to leave Damian alone because Damian needs to face this alone. So I think that's why Nightwing isn't going to be involved in this. But I'm always going to enjoy whenever those two reunite in another comic and have another one of their Dick Grayson, Damian Wayne moments. That's always fun to see. But all's the same, guys. I like what Josh Williamson is doing. Thank you, Josh Williamson. I'm glad you have taken over these comics, and I am excited for your new direction of many things to come. I can't wait for it. But until then, guys, I would like to know your guys' thoughts. What are you expecting out of Shadow Wars? What do you think will come out of it? I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below. And until then, if you enjoy my videos, all you gotta do is click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to be notified of when I make make more videos. And until then, Mega Geek Mixer signing out. Bye.